Top of the morning to ya, you lily-livered landlubbers. As I was driving up the hill today, some guy on the radio was saying today is National Talk Like a Pirate Day. As I was driving, I came up with this whole pirate bit I was going to do. As I was practicing that, I pretty much destroyed my voice, which was probably the best case scenario because now none of us have to endure what I was going to do. We're back here at the big white fir. We're getting close to the end of it. I need to buck this log in two, rip all of these into quarters so we can get them into town. I originally was not going to do a video today. I was just going to come up here and rip these up, get them finished. Thinking I've already done so many videos on this one white fir, you guys are going to get disgusted, then start watching Taylor Swift and cat videos. What else could I possibly do with this tree that would be interesting enough to put on video that could compete with Taylor Swift videos or cat videos? What kind of a video creator would I be if I let some mundane task like this stop me from making a video? We'll start ripping. Maybe something interesting will come up. Maybe it won't. As I've been quartering this tree off and on over the last few weeks, seems like the more I do it, the better I would get, the straighter my cuts would be. But I think it's going the other way. The more I do it, the more crooked these cuts are getting. Now I understand why people use Alaska mills and guides when they're doing chainsaw milling. Okay, I already knew why, but this is a good example of why. I'm trying to cut down to the bark, but I don't want to go through the bark because I don't want to hit dirt. I'm looking at the sawdust. When I see bark colored sawdust, that's when I know to stop and move on. I slow down the RPM of the saw when I get close to dirt to give me more time and to better feel what the saw is cutting into and to reduce potential damage if I do get into the dirt. Now we have a little bit of a situation. In order to quarter this one straight-ish, I need to flip it over on one side or the other so I can do a vertical cut like this one. But that tree's in the way. These are in the way of flipping it over this way. Trying to roll these big heavy quarters with flat edges uphill is no fun, and they're just going to want to roll back down. Ultimately, we need all these down there in the loading spot. I'm thinking let's pull this whole half out of here and rip it in a better spot. We have this line down here that we were using for loading, but it might be too short to reach that. The long line we were using for yarding logs, my dad took that down the hill for another project he was doing. Wait a minute, there it is over there. He brought it back up here. Almost seems like he has some foresight and knows what he's doing. And of course I parked on it. He and I were just discussing the other day, how many hundreds of times over the years have we had to move the vehicle because we parked on the line. And how many times have we rolled the rear tire off of it only to realize now the front tire's sitting on it. Not this time. This time I checked. We have 14 feet, 5 inches left. Just enough for an 8-foot and a 6-foot log with a couple inches of trim on each. I want to roll this just a little bit this way to make this crack vertical so I can cut parallel to the crack, but it's too heavy to move with the peavey. This cedar tree's in the way and it's just heavy. As is commonly the case out here when something doesn't do what it's supposed to, the proposed solution is usually something like put a line on it, pull on it, see what happens, which sometimes leads to the next problem. Can we get the line under the log? We are getting lucky with that today. Position the bell up here so it'll give it a roll when it pulls. I'm going to pull on this just a little bit, and I want it to roll just enough to where this crack is vertical. I can't see what's going on back here, so it's up to you to let me know when it's vertical. I don't want to go past vertical because that defeats the whole purpose. I might as well just have cut it right here. How did we do here? The top part of the crack went a little past vertical, but it looks like you were able to see that this was more of an arcing crack, so it averages out to being vertical. Good call on that. You're getting the hang of this. And the choker just came right out. We're getting lucky with chokers today. I think when it comes to chokers, this is our lucky day. What are the chances I'll be able to roll this half over with a peavey? This cedar tree is only partly in the way. I would say better than average. Got this one more 6-footer left. Might as well get it finished while we're here. This smaller one, we're just going to cut it into thirds. My cuts on these last 2 logs came out really straight. If you were thinking the other ones were coming out crooked because my saw or my chain was cutting crooked, nah, it was just operator clumsiness. That finishes this white fir. As far as ripping, it's just a matter now of hauling these off the mountain to the mill. Got 1, 2, 3 more loads. My trailer load's full. Should do it. There might be 2 or 3 left over. My dad's not up here today to help load up a load, but he's supposed to be here in the morning. Until then, that's all we have to do right here for now. I guess now you can go watch your funny cat compilation videos. It's okay, everybody does it. Nothing to be ashamed of. Some of them are really funny. Like when the cat jumps in the tub, doesn't realize there's water in there, and bounces right out. Or you could listen to me talk about my socks. I haven't done that in, how long? Has it been a month? You're probably thinking, he's gonna start telling us how he's so comfortable right now wearing his Camel City Mill merino wool, American-made wool socks. No, that's not the case. I'm not wearing those. I'm wearing some cotton socks. My camel socks are all dirty right now. There's no laundry facilities here at the ranch, and my feet are not happy about it. With these cotton socks, I've noticed it with other ones too, they use these thick threads in them. They're comfortable when I first put them on, but after my feet are rubbing over those big threads against the bottom of my feet, they start getting a little bit tired, and in this case, a little bit sore. Especially when I'm walking on slopes and uneven surfaces where my feet are trying to move around in my boots. Whereas the Camel City Mill merino wool socks, they have what they call iron side wool. They use these old looms that spin the threads as they're creating them. By doing that, they can make them a lot stronger, and they can make them smaller threads. When I have those socks on, it's like the difference between cheap bed sheets with a low thread count, which is what these cotton socks are. And the Camel City socks, they're like nice sheets with a high thread count. They are more expensive, but I know these are going to last only a few weeks. Whereas the Camel City Mill socks, they're guaranteed for 10 years because they have this iron side wool that lasts a long time. I'll put a link to those down below in the description. We invest a lot of money into our boots. Then we go buy cheap socks made in some sweatshop in who knows what country. With the Camel City Mill socks, it helps support Made in America and it helps out the channel. Check them out, then we can all get back to watching funny cat videos.